The 1998-99 high school basketball season provided us with more excitement, more drama, and more history than ever before. With a hard act to follow after last year's incredible 15-game schedule, the TCI Local Origination Department hit the ground running with an aggressive 14-game regular season. Add to that 7 state tournament contests, including super sectional coverage from the Chick Evans Fieldhouse on the campus of Northern Illinois University in DeKalb, and it's easy to see why this was our most successful campaign to date. Those 21 games, many of which crowned division, conference, regional, sectional, or super sectional champions, not only provided our viewers with some quality competitive basketball, but also showcased outstanding team and individual performances. Tonight we're here to honor those individuals whose efforts helped lead their teams to victory as we present our TCI Players of the Game. Week 1 was actually a last-minute addition to the schedule, chosen for its possible historic value. The young Bartlett team was not only playing their inaugural varsity home game, but also vying for their first win. Led by guard Mano Ali and forward Dante Frazier, who packed a potent 1-2 punch, combining for 20 points, 13 rebounds, 10 assists, and 9 steals, the Hawks enjoyed the sweet taste of victory for the first time at the expense of the Warriors.
Good defense by Bartlett, but Jesevic just buried the jumper, and here you see Willowbrook coming up with some pressure.
Frazier, score the hoop, and the foul, and one. For Dante Frazier, again, it was off the penetration drive by Mano Ali.
I'll tell you, number 52, Andrew, has really come to play tonight. He is penetrating and either looking to shoot or dishing, but right now, a large part of their offense coming from his penetration. I would think defensively now Willowbrook's going to play off him.
Week 2, our first look at girls action, and second consecutive Hawks-Warriors battle was nothing new for these longtime rivals. Maine South continued their recent regular season success against Maine West, as forward Lauren Coletti utilized her height advantage in the paint, knocking down 18 points, including some decisive free throws, and aggressively snaring 5 rebounds as the Hawks narrowly escaped the Warriors' wrath.
We're now 2 minutes and counting.
Let's see how Maine South works their offense without their leading scorer. We know Coletti can score inside. Payne, Vonich, outside threats. There's the post feed.
Coletti with the turnaround jumper, ties it.
You're Elisa Peterson. You can't do any more than play defense to that, but Coletti just somehow was able to get the ball over Peterson's arms and hit that shot. It's an unbelievable shot.
Week 3 found us back in Bartlett, this time for a girls matchup, and the first installment of what is bound to be a classic contest for years to come. But the visitors from Streamwood weren't interested in any more Bartlett history, as they had an agenda of their own, led by center Tina Brooks, who continued her fantastic early season play with a dominating performance, consisting of 16 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 blocks. The Sabres carved up the Hawks.
Jessica O'Dowd now at the point. Pretty good shooter from the outside. Caston's a great shooter.
They go inside to Brooks. Awfully tough to stop her in that low post position.
Kept her hands high, soft touch, laid it off the glass, used her left hand. Nice job by Tina Brooks.
Week 4, our final game of 1998, delayed our holiday festivities just a bit, as it took double overtime to settle this non-conference affair. Both teams battled evenly with tournament intensity until guard John Camardella elevated his game in the second half and eventually took control in the extra frames, finishing the exhausting evening with 8 rebounds and 26 points, including some huge shots from behind the arc as the Huskies barely outlasted the Hawks.
There you see Hess now. He's trying to make something happen. Camaradella back to Hess. He has a little pump fake. Back to Camaradella from the corner for 3. He drains it from the corner. 15 seconds ago, a timeout on the floor. Back to within 1.
And Camaradella with a huge shot, absolutely huge. And that's what they said before the game. Watch out for Camaradella from the three-point stripe. And unofficially, Mr. Steven, that guy's got 3 three-pointers in this game.
Week 5 allowed us to begin the new year with the first of 4 consecutive girls' games featuring the newly formed East and West divisions of the Mid-Suburban League. Although the weather outside was indeed frightful, all-conference and all-area center Kristen Stewart was simply delightful as she managed to score an amazing 18 points to go along with 5 rebounds in very limited court time as the Lady Saxons plowed through the Wildcats.
Casey Starkey back in, 23.
3-2 zone here. See what they do against Stewart.
Stewart goes baseline, a little short jumper. Nicely done.
Yeah, that was the senior taking the freshman to school, Monica Prolzak, on the defense, but Stewart faked inside, went baseline side, and the veteran taking the youngster to school.
Week 6 provided us with 2 new experiences as we were seeing the home squad and their gym for the very first time. But the real story was rust versus rest, as St. Viator hadn't hit the floor since holiday tournament time, while Niles West faced a conference opponent the previous night. But forward Andrea Allen didn't seem to mind playing twice in 24 hours, finding the bucket for 18 points while grabbing 5 boards as the Indians went hunting and bagged the Lions.
Well, here's Niles West, a near backcourt violation, but saving it is Haas, the freshman. A spin around move to Allen with a left hand. Boy, Allen with a big first half.
Wow, you've seen those shirts that everybody wears, no fear? We got to give Andrea Allen one of those, no fear right here. 5'8", spins and goes straight up right over 6'3". Corey Clues and scores the basket. Andrea Allen, early on, our player of the game.
Week 7 was a crucial midseason matchup as 2 familiar foes faced off for the 3rd time, each desperate for a conference win. Picking the perfect time for her breakout game, forward Lindsay Talbert contributed consistently on both sides of the ball, playing tough defense, hitting the pressure shots down the stretch, and flirting with a double-double as she accumulated 20 points and 9 rebounds in the Vikings' victory versus the Spartans.
2:20 remaining, and we're tied at 28, and it's Niles North back with the basketball. Their biggest lead tonight has been 1 point. And they work it around the perimeter, looking for Talbert. Here's Talbert with the basketball. She takes a 3-point effort and drills it! Lindsay Talbert!
Left her open for a second, saw the opening, and a huge three-pointer by Lindsay Talbert, who is suddenly getting hot here in the 4th quarter.
Week 8 was a rematch of one of our marquee games from last season and the latest edition of what has been a classic confrontation over the years. On the surface, it may have lacked its usual luster due to injuries, but that didn't stop forward Lynn Gorney from shining through, scoring 10 hard-earned points and snatching 6 rebounds while making her mark with a scrappy display of energy and hustle as the Warriors stole the Titans' thunder.
And we have Jenny Panfield running the show at the top of the key. She goes to the left, back over to the right. Now she kicks it over there to Julie Just. Inside goes Julie to Lynn Gorney, and another great pass by Julie Just. Lynn Gorney up and in. That's a mismatch down underneath there for Glenbrook South.
Gorney sealing the defender. Nice inside jump shot.
Week 9 brought the boys back to center stage as the hottest team in our area put their winning streak on the line in a division showdown. Struggling early, Schaumburg was sparked by reserve guard Larry English, who impressed the super fans in attendance with his super sub heroics, coming off the bench to secure 4 rebounds and contribute 10 points, all in the second half, saving the day for the Saxons, who clamped down on the Cougars.
Heiko's in heavy traffic, finally gets it off to Barons. Cross court they go. The shot for 3 taken, not there. And this time it's Schaumburg on the break and English with it. And he has enough English to put it up and in. What a bucket by Larry English. So now a 4-point lead, 41-37.
Week 10 meant doubleheader time beginning in Des Plaines with a rematch of last season's regional championship, but more importantly, a much-needed win within the conference. Fueled by a loss in an earlier meeting, guard Alfredo Jimenez turned in one of the best all-around performances thus far, giving us plenty of highlight material on his way to 18 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, and 5 steals as the Warriors spoiled the quest of the Spartans.
And Hargesheimer does not get the roll. But Jimenez with those quick hands and off the glass. What a nice touch he has.
Outstanding, outstanding. His spindly body really belies his game. He's great around the rim with both hands. He'll take a physical shot. And he's an outstanding free throw shooter when he gets hit.
Look at him right there, Alfredo Jimenez, red hot in the first quarter. Watch here, the incredible rubber man, able to bend his body in different ways, hang in the air, and still complete the shot as advertised. Having a super game so far.
Well, Goldman brings it up, and there you see Jimenez with the strip and steal.
Right on cue.
And he finds Griffin off the break for 2, so Dave Griffin cuts down the lane off the feed from Jimenez, and it's now 17-12 Maine West.
Game 2 presented another revenge opportunity here at Rematch Central in the form of an intriguing intra-conference contest. The Cahill Crazies came out in droves, hoping to shake up the opposition, but instead of rattling, forward Tim Frick was rolling and proved to be virtually unstoppable down low, scoring the first 7 points of the game and 9 of the first 11 en route to 23, complemented by 5 boards and 3 rejections as the Sabres put the Lions to sleep.
Peasty will slow it up. Guard there by Pasinski.
I'll tell you, if I was St. Viator, I would deny 35 the ball. Once he gives it up, get it out of his hands.
And red hot from the baseline is Frick. He now has 19 points, and there's a timeout on the floor. It's 47-40. Streamwood opening up a 7-point lead, 5:01 remaining in the fourth quarter.
Boy, and that's tough, too, because he was sitting on the bench probably for 6 or 7 minutes, and number 40, Tim Frick, back in the game and immediately hits a couple of jump shots. Watch the nice post feed right there by Pikars, and Tim Frick able to catch, turn around, and complete the 9-foot jump shot.
Week 11 was as important as any late-season matchup, as the Mid-Suburban East was still in search of a champion. Aware that the division title was on the line, forward David Alexi constantly came through in the clutch, pumping in shots from long range and crashing the glass for putback baskets. All told, he collected 15 points to go with 10 rebounds, good for a double-double, and 2 block shots, as the Knights tamed the Wildcats and claimed their reward.
And they needed that one. Great pass on the fast break from Brett Rappaport. We have not seen Wheeling push the ball much. That time they did. Rappaport, their point guard, with a great pass.
But answering at the other end, Alexi for 3.
One of the best offensive games of the season for David Alexi. Lighting it up inside, outside, getting the rebounds.
Week 12 had its share of interesting subplots, in lieu of the fact that neither team was championship bound. Derek Wright came into the game needing only 39 points to become Niles West's all-time scoring leader. While Maine East was converging on him, guard Mike Davis made the most of the opportunity, hitting the open looks and more than doubling his season average with 14 points against a very stingy defense as the Indians exercised their Blue Demons.
Santos with the basketball to Reich. Another open look for 3. And Davis, who's played such a strong game, now has 10. And the lead is 11.
You are correct. Strong game for number 22. Only 5'11", but he can get up on the boards. Michael Davis.
Week 13, the regular season and conference finale, took the Central Suburban North race down to the wire. Gaining momentum throughout the season, this senior-dominated team came together on the shoulders of forward Todd Gerke, who answered the call with timely and occasionally acrobatic buckets, sinking 12 points and bringing down 5 rebounds as the Hawks stymied the Spartans and captured their conference crown.
Eric Schmidt, the inbounder, one of their primary scorers, the number 2 scorer on Maine South. He hasn't even taken a shot yet. The Glenbrook North defense doing a good job shutting Schmidt down.
And Gerke, boy, does he have some nice moves. Good all-around game.
Yeah, and he can twist, he can flex, he can move in all different directions. But Todd Gerke, 17 points a game, and you're getting a look here in the first half at how he gets those points. A variety of creative type shots.
The conclusion of the regular season brought us girls' regional action between the 4th and 5th seeds. Eager to avenge the loss suffered in last year's sectional semifinal, the Orange Crush turned to Mid-Suburban East Player of the Year center Nicolette McCartney, who after a slow start justified that distinction, delivering 13 points, a whopping 18 rebounds, and 6 stuffed shots as the Huskies outclawed the Cougars to capture the regional title.
Last year when Conant beat Hersey, it was Erin DeVos, our TCI player of the game, and she is, as you said, Perry, heating up here in the second half. Both teams now starting to get their shooting on.
And a wild shot goes through for McCartney. Oh, my.
Degree of difficulty about 9.5, some style points, and a basket for Nicolette McCartney.
Swapping sectionals, we prepared for the semifinal round between the 2nd and 3rd seeds. Demonstrating definite improvement with each game, Maine West would need its best effort yet to contend with the talent of New Trier. Mixing near-perfect execution with a strong showing from guard Julie Just created the recipe for success as she drained 13 of her 16 points in the second half, including the final 6 points of the game, as the Warriors upset the Trevians.
But it's only a 3-point lead, and you have a Maine West team that is loaded with energy and a lot of playoff experience.
And you know, Terry is a star player, has been through it both at Libertyville High School and Duke, been through the big games as a player, but I don't think it's nearly as tough as when you're a coach.
Goalie just ties it at 39.
The sectional championship, which would be our last girls' game of the season, had become somewhat of a tradition. Maine West needed another direct hit from their slingshot to slay the Goliath who stood before them, in the form of two-time defending state champion and #1 seed Loyola. With crafty and clever point guard Laura Sobieschek commanding the troops, remaining patient on offense, and relentless on defense, her 9 points in an extra 4-minute overtime was just enough for the Ramblers to advance past the Warriors to yet another super section.
Here's Loyola with their 5-point lead and the numbers. And here's Murphy from the corner. Slauson on the other end with a rebound and is able to get out to Sobieschek, who takes the shot for 3 and drains it.
Gotta call your timeout right here, Laura Sobieschek. She can hit that shot, three-pointer, uncontested. Amy Stoltz forgot to get the hand up.
Moving over to the boys bracket, it was time once again for regional competition, with the 9th seed squaring off against #1. Schaumburg lived up to the billing, jumping out to a huge lead behind their highly touted depth. And leading the charge was forward Brandon Barber, who made an immediate impact, turning quality minutes into 15 bonus points, nearly tripling his season scoring average and helping the Saxons hold off the Mustang Stampede.
Brings it back out front to Schrant. And they go inside. Tough pass on the double team.
He let him go.
But Barber splits the two and makes the layup.
Even in the zone defense, coach, you got to get some help from your teammates. Barber wide open to the bucket.
The sectional semifinals not only brought new challenges, but also old familiar faces from the 4th seed. Having lost to Schaumburg twice already, Hoffman Estates had more than enough experience and incentive, which they used to build an early advantage. Until all-everything guard Antoine McDaniel, taking matters into his own hands, stole the momentum at halftime and never looked back, providing 14 points and 3 rebounds as the Saxons grounded the Hawks.
Pancrat's getting a lot of time here tonight.
We haven't seen a lot of John Thorson in the second half. Played a very effective first half, but
nice.
And those some of the screens you talked about, Coach, to get some of those players open for the easy basket. And McDaniel catches in. He now has 11.
Excellent patience, great ball movement, and the guy was rewarded with a great pass.
The dream season continued, and the rankings stayed true to form, setting the stage for the top 2 teams. Although both came in pumped up and ready to rock, Elgin would soon be singing the Schaumburg Blues, as forward Steve Schrant, who got off to a sluggish start, eventually found the groove to the tune of 22 points, scoring 20 of those in the second half and 16 in the final frame, as the Saxons sailed past the Maroons to uncharted territory, their first ever sectional championship.
The smile on the face and the smile inside is just unbelievable feeling. That's what you worked your whole life to do.
Here's Schrant at the other end. The layup, the basket. He now has 22 to lead Schaumburg.
Well, we're not sure, but I would venture to say that's a career high for Steve Strand, and what a game to have it in.
Our 21st and final game of the season expanded our horizons as we soaked up the super sectional experience DeKalb style. With 2 number ones engaging in combat and only 3 losses between them, we knew we were in for an adventure. But nothing could have prepared us for this roller coaster ride. Behind the leadership of guards Dwayne James and Larry English, who collectively contributed 17 clutch points, but equally as important, displayed tremendous intensity on defense, the Saxons survived their spat with the Tomcats and headed straight downstate.
Winner of this goes to the Elite Eight state quarterfinals. Only one team there. That is Chicago King out of the Public League, already advancing. Now let's go to Jason Bell.
Wow! Oh, big shot.
Dwayne James for 3.
Nice.
Wide
look.
open underneath is English, and he makes the basket. They're within 1.
Again, a defensive breakdown. You be patient enough, you're going to get it. Plenty of time.